Athletes to the line.
Welcome everyone to the finals here at the Sport Wales National Centre and today's final in the 10-meter air pistol men's event. Please give our finalists a warm welcome. First up on lane A, representing England, the Scottish champion 2024, Joe Baker. On lane B, representing England, the former English and British national champion, Adrian Sims. On lane C, representing England, a member of the Army Target Shooting Club, Sam Gowen. On lane D, representing England, the British champion 2023, Ken Darling. On lane E, representing Belgium, selected for the national team here in 2024, Marvin Ulbrich. On lane F, representing England, we have James Bardolph. And on lane G, representing Scotland, who just was allowed to keep his guns at home again, David Owen. On lane H, representing Wales, with his brand new electronic trigger, James Miller. Our jury member in charge for this final is Mr. James Marsh Brown from England. And our Chief Range Officer, Alexander Almes from Germany.
Take your positions. Five minutes preparation and sighting time. Start.
So while our athletes are getting accustomed to the range here, I want to speak a little bit about what's going to happen here in the upcoming minutes. So we are gonna start off with 2 rounds of 5-shot series, where we kind of create a baseline before we do our eliminations. After those 10 shots, we will do a single shot series with eliminations after every other shot. So our first finalist will be eliminated after the 12th shot. We will continue like this, elimination after every other shot, until we know our medalists. So we will know the bronze medalist after 22 shots, and the silver and gold is determined after 24. During this final, if there is any tie for the lowest ranking finalist, it will be resolved immediately with additional tie-breaking shot. If our finalists manage to score the same, we will continue until the tie is broken.
Okay, welcome to those viewing online for today's stream. In our first final of many at the Welsh International Airgun Championships 2024. As Sarah, our in finals hall commentator, has gone through the format of the shoot today. So my name is Craig. I'll be making some comments on the shooters whilst they are busy. For those viewing online. So as you can see, some very strong starts. James Miller there with a very solid grouping in his sighters. I'll be using this sighting just to get used to the new environment, as the final four is a different ball and target system to what is in the qualification ball. So these athletes will now have to just make some slight minor adjustments to get their eye back in, but it seems like most are doing that. Most of these are very seasoned athletes anyway, shooting all over the world at many different levels. So in the last 50 seconds now for this sighting time, before we move into the first series of 5 shots. Have to start calming the heart rate down, get that confidence level up, going through your shot process that they all have.
Stop, unload. For the first competition series, load. Start.
So here we go. Of our first final at Welsh Airgun Championships. So Baker and that off 10-0, start off their campaign for this year. I expect to see both of those in quite a few of the finals and on the podium as well, given their past performances at the end of last season and as we start off this new season. Great to see some of our international athletes as well, with Albrecht from Belgium, with a big Belgian contingent over this year as well. So it's really good to see the championship spreading its wings a little and seeing some of the top international athletes from around Europe. And we hope to invite more next year. Bardolph settling in with a nice 10.3 as a second shot, with Owen with a 10.2 as well. As expected, James Miller is out of the traps very quickly with 3 consecutive 10s. Start his final. Darling with his last 2 10s, with 1 shot to go. Finished with that 9.5, finish on 48.5. Solid start. Going with 4 solid 9s, with Gowing coming back to the 10-meter discipline from his main, brilliant way to finish off that 10.7. Yes, as I was saying, Gowing is a rapid fire specialist. Has competed at many World Cups and part of the Troops to Target squad with the British Army. So he's now diversifying and picking up his 10-meter air pistol again. So it's great to see him back on the range. Bardolph with his final shot, and then I'll hand you back over in Hall team.
Stop.
In the lead after our first round, we have our local talent, James Miller, with 50.7. He is only 0.4 ahead of David Owen, who in turn also is 0.2 ahead of James Bardolph.
For the next competition series, load. Start.
So some very impressive shooting there with 3 of our athletes with over 50.0 off their first 5 shots. So now it's time to maintain or try and get a lead. And for those at the other lower end of the table, time to pick it up, settle down, get those quality shots in. Both with Ken and Darling and Gowan, both with 10.1s to start off the next series. A little wobble there by Owen with an 8.2. Those in 3rd and 4th place, I'm sure, will now put the pressure on. With this format, final format, sorry, the athletes need to try and make as much a lead as they can as they come into the first elimination after 12 shots. So these guys will be trying to get a bigger lead as possible, and that will progress you deeper into today's final. Miller continues his where he left off on the first series. 2 nice shots with 10.4 as his last. And Sims really settling in today's final. 10.5 and 10.7. Fortunately, just dropping at 8.8 there. The first commentator's curse of this year's Airgun Championship. So sorry to those if you are watching it retrospectively. So just needs to rely on that process, calm those nerves, clear that head. Just got to remember what got him into today's final. And Sam going there with a lovely 10.5 as his 4th shot of this series. Athlete's final shot left. Going with a lovely back-to-back 10.5 to finish off that series. And this is real quality shooting by Miller. Another string over 50 with 50.5.
Stop.
After our second round of 5-shot series, we still have James Miller in the lead with 101.2. At the moment, he is also a whopping 3.3 ahead of our second place holder at the moment, Adrian Sims. As we now move into our single shot series, we will soon have our first elimination. At the bottom at the moment, we have James Bardolph. He has a 1.3 difference to Joseph Baker.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So now we move into our single shots. Our first elimination. Our 12th shot. Still very close. Between our 7th and 8th place finalists, Baker and Bardolph. But everyone else above them also needs to perform.
Stop.
So that was shot 11, and we have James Bardolph in the danger zone. He has only 1 point difference that he needs to make up to continue.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So after this shot, we will find out our first elimination from today's men's air pistol final. Bardolph has got 1 point to gain on Owen, and he's against a very experienced Owen at that. Let's see what Bardolph can do. Can he save himself? A lovely 10.6 and 10.2 there by Darling. Great 20.8 series. Here we go.
Stop. There's a tie for the lowest ranking finalist to be eliminated. The next command is for Mr. Bardov and Mr. Owen. For the shoot-off shot, load. Start.
So, we are. First final, first elimination, first shoot-off. Is this going to be the start of the way we're going this week? Possibly. Who can hold their nerve?
Stop.
So after the shoot-off, we say thank you to James Bardolph, who gets the 8th place in this final. In the lead, we still have James Miller, who increases his lead with currently 3.6 ahead of Ken Darling. Marvin Ulbrich is currently the candidate for the bronze medalist. Going into our next round of single shot series, we have David Owen in the bottom, 1.6 difference up to Joseph Baker, currently in 6th place.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So our first elimination. Well done, Bardolph. Great showing there. I'm sure you'll have learnt a lot from that shoot-off. Great experience to have. Unfortunately not on the winning side of it, but I'm sure we'll see him in more finals this week. So we continue on. With Darling with a lovely 10.4 there. Gowan with a 10.5 and Ulbrich with a 10.7. Great to see our athletes settling down after that slightly longer.
Stop.
Joseph Parker decreases the difference, so currently only 0.3 to David Owen. Who will stay, who will go, we'll see after shot 14.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So Baker in the drop zone behind Owen. Still all very much to play for. 9.3 there by Baker. What can Owen respond with? Keep himself in today's final. Miller with a slightly wayward 8.8 there.
Oh, get in there, Jay.
Stop.
A big round of applause for our 7th place winner, Joseph Baker. In the lead, we still have our local talent, James Miller, 2.3 ahead of Marvin Ulbrich at the moment. At equal scores for the 3rd place, we have Sam Govin and Ken Darling.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So Owen has got 4.1, which is quite a bit of work here to get into 5th place and save himself from elimination, but some very impressive shooting by Gowan and Ulbrich in the last 2-shot series. Ulbrich is moving his way up, now solidly in 2nd place with some work behind Miller.
Stop.
In the danger zone at the moment, we have David Owen, who needs to make up 4.1 to stay and fight for the medals.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
Head to head with Owens and known each other for a very long time. I think this might be a bit too much for Owen, but we will see. We have seen stranger things on finals. Both Darling and Gowing slightly pushing an 8 out on the right hand side. But Miller with a lovely 21.1 series.
And the 6th place goes to David Owen. Please give him a big round of applause. James Miller has a strong grip of the lead, increasing it further with 2 inner 10s. Great performance there. He is 3.7 ahead of Marvin Ulbricht. And in 3rd place, we still have Ken Darling.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So Sim moves ahead of Gowan in today's final, but only 0.7 and then 0.1 to 3rd place. So only 0.8 between 5th and 3rd. Very much all to plan for. Darling off with a great 10.5 there to cement his 3rd place as it stands. One wonder and wait. Got a lovely 10.2 there.
Stop.
In the danger zone, we have Sam Govin, 1.1 behind Adrian Sims.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
Who will be our 5th? Hey, only 2 points between 2nd and 5th as it stands. Gowan's currently in the drop zone. Lovely 10.6. Is that? I'm sure that might be enough. And it is.
Stop.
With a 10.6, so manages Sam Govin to stay in the finals. So we have to say goodbye and thank you to Adrian Sims instead. James Miller has a firm lead, 4.7 ahead of Marvin Ulbricht. But among the other contestants, it's still very tight. 0.4 and 0.5. So we still is very unsure who will get the silver and bronze or gold for that matter. The next few shots will tell.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
We say back to Adrian Sims, who is actually now coaching the British Army pistol team. So I'm sure he'll have some fun between himself and Gowan over that one. Gowan is a member of that team. But now we get to the thick end of this final.
There we go, James.
Stop.
Sam Govan fighting to stay in the final. 0.6 he needs to make up to Ken Darling, currently in third position. Marvin Ulbrich decreases the lead to James Miller slightly. He's only 4.5 ahead.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
$50 seconds to find out if you're going to win a medal or not. It's still very high, only 0.6 between Gowan and Darling currently. And it looks like Gowan will be going out, but only 0.2. We'll wait for all the final shots. And there it is confirmed.
Stop.
And the fourth place winner is Sam Govan. Still with a very firm grip of the lead, we have James Miller now even more ahead of Marvin Ulbricht, a 5.2 difference. Ulbricht in turn is only 1.9 ahead of Ken Darling, our current bronze medalist candidate. Who will get what? We'll see up in a minute.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So we now know. Miller is out ahead on 5.2. I don't think that's going to be overturned, but still all play for second and third silver and bronze medalists. But I've got to say, great showing there by Gowan.
Yes,
Having back in the 10-metre range, I'm sure we'll be seeing him more.
0.6 difference is all that's left to determine who gets the bronze at the moment. Currently, Ken Darling needs that in order to stay in the final. In the lead, still James, and currently in second place, Marvin Ulbrich.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So, Darling, 0.6 behind Ulbrich, who has had a great shoot so far. Belgian entrant. I'm sure we'll see more of his teammates over the next couple of days across disciplines. Darling, a great 10.4 there. And I think that just secured himself that silver medal.
Stop.
And with that shot, we know the bronze medal winner is Marvin Ulbrich from Belgium. Still fighting for the gold, we have James Miller, 7.9 ahead of Ken Darling. Will that be enough? The next shots will determine that.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So it'll be great to see our three nations on the podium today. Darling with a very big task of 7.9 behind James, who has had a brilliant start to this final and continued it throughout. There we go. There's a marker in the sand by Darling, 10.8. He's meaning business.
Stop.
Putting up a very good fight for the gold with a 10.8. Ken Darling reduces the difference to 6.7. Another shot and anything can happen.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So Darling with 6.7. I'm sure he might be able to reduce it, but I think his silver medal is secured. I think that sealed his fate with that 8.5 there, given the form that Miller is on in this final.
Stop. Unload. Results are final.
You heard the man. We have a gold medal winner here for the 10-meter air pistol men's event, Mr. James Miller. And please do not forget our silver medalist as well, Ken Darling.